Okay, so there's four kinds of, what's it called here? Problems, circle equations, all right? So this is for your njgpa. So the first one is just, they're all mostly circle equations. Determine the equation of the circle graph below. All right, so there's two things you gotta find in a circle. You gotta find the radius and you gotta find the center. That's it to write the equation. So I'm gonna show you first just finding the radius and the center, and then how to write the equation. It's actually really easy. So the center is just the center of the circle, like this point right here, all right? But you gotta figure out what the coordinates at that point are, which aren't hard. 5 right, 6 up. So the center is 5, 6, all right? And then the radius is just the distance from the center to any edge of the circle. Now for these problems today, it's all gonna be all except for the very last one. I think there's one tricky kind. So no, well, we'll see. This is the distance. You just either go this way or straight up or straight left or straight down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the radius. The radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. Yeah. Did you make the pass? Oh, you gotta go to your trip? Yeah, go ahead. So the radius is 4. So then, here's the equation. The official equation is, and it's like a raw form, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where r is the radius. This is going to look confusing for a second, then you'll see how easy it is. And h comma k is the center. All right, so for our circle, it's just going to be, you're plugging, this is your h and this is your k, and obviously this is your 4. So it's going to be x minus 5 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals, and then you square the radius, this squared is 16. And that's it. That's what you have to write in there. All right. Now I'm not gonna click submit for video sake, and because you'll be able to click submit and see it. So that's that one. All right. So then, let's see if I go back and do this good. This is gonna be similar. Okay, so this is kind of the reverse. Now you have the equation, and they just want you to tell the what's the center. So the center of the radius. The center is always the opposite sign. So the x, it's the opposite sign of, I gotta do this. The opposite sign of this, so it's -7. The y, it's the opposite sign of this, so it's positive. Because remember, if you remember, in the equation was like x minus h squared and y minus k. There's a minus built into the equation. That makes it always going to be the opposite sign. And the radius is just going to be the square root of this, which is 19. So that's it. That's all you have to write in there. So that's the second set. All right, very simple and straightforward. But again, if you never saw this, this is just a really quick cursory, as much as I can get in circles in extra time for njgpa. If you never saw this and you see this on njgpa, you're like, what am I doing? I have no clue what any of this is. But hopefully there's enough between this and whatever else I can fit in to kind of fill those gaps. I don't know what that's doing there. Get out of there. Yeah.
It's the X right there.
Yeah. All right. Determine the equation of a circle. Now it's like kind of the reverse of the last set. So the center is 0, 7. Oh, good. This shows us a nice little counter example. So let's do this. There's this. Then we can do this. So x minus 0 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals. I suggest. Oh, this is a little trickier. Okay. Contain a point. Okay. So this has the harder one. So in order to find the radius, this is interesting. In order to find the radius, we have to do a little bit of distance formula between this. All right, so the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circle is going to be the radius. So you have to do the distance formula. If you remember the distance formula, it's this. The square root of the x is minus, well, I'll write it. The x is minus squared plus the y is minus squared. So distance in this case equals the square root of, we're gonna go from that one. Square root of 24 minus 0 squared plus this 12 minus 7 squared. So that's gonna be the square root, let's change colors. The square root of, so this is 24, square root of 24 squared is 24, plus 5. So the distance equals the square root of 29. So back to our original formula in purple, it's the square root of 29 squared. So what is the square root of 29 squared?
29.
Correct, very good. So you have enough time to do the quiz. It's very fast. And then you still get the same advantage everybody else had here. Yep. So your final equation is good, and this just becomes x squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 29. That would be your actual equation. Again, all this stuff, assuming it's going to be a longer video, but it'll all be on, you can watch it again, or you can look at their explanation, which their explanation will, you might like it better. Okay, one more. Okay. Graphing circles, this one should be easy. Oh wait. Graph the circle. Oh, great. Okay, cool. X minus now. Can I make this small? No, I can't. X minus 7, y minus 3 equals 4. I'll write it out. I can actually. So, x. I'm just writing this equation just so I can fit it on the graph. I'm not changing it at all. Plus y minus 3 squared equals 4. All right. So now, oops. All right. I can do this. Move it up and then put it back. Great. So now, so the center of this graph, the center is going to be 7, 3. What is the radius of this graph? It's not 4. It's 2. The square root of this one. So you can drag this now. 7, 3 and a radius of 2. So you take this and move it to 7, 3, 7, 3, and then drag this to 2, and that's it. That's your circle. Well, look at that. All right, so that's all 3 kinds. All 4 kinds. 8 minutes. That's very long.